15 new towns are being built in Britain. New homes for 700,000 people. 8 of the new towns are within 30 miles of London. 3 are in Scotland, 1 in Wales. In the north of England, standing on the Durham coalfield, is Peterlee, named after a famous miners' leader. The whole area is undermined, which doesn't help building. But this is one of the most interesting large-scale housing schemes anywhere in Britain. Peterlee was designed to be the centre for 26 scattered settlements, which had grown up around the pit heads, and also to provide new homes for 30,000 people. In the old mining villages, there was no employment for women and girls, but there are lots of jobs going in the new town. The Durham coalfield is a pretty depressing place to start building a town. Peterlee has a beach nearby, but the need of the mines comes first. The sea of Peterlee isn't blue or even grey, it's black. The one cheerful feature in the whole landscape is the new town. There are new churches, new schools. Peterlee is rapidly becoming what it was designed to be, the centre of a whole district. Other new towns have different problems. East Kilbride is 10 miles from Glasgow, but it wasn't planned as a dormitory suburb. It was planned as a town, and a town must provide jobs for the people who live in it. So far, East Kilbride has attracted quite a lot of new industry, and the new factories rise gleaming in steel, glass and concrete. Planning a new town is not a new problem. In Egypt, a city was built as a housing project for men working on one of the pyramids nearly 5,000 years ago. But no one likes to think of themselves as part of a housing project. What they want is for their new town to be a hometown. A town must, of course, have schools, houses to live in, factories to work in, shops and offices, roads and car parks, cinemas and doctors. These are the obvious things, and very important ones. Under the roundabouts of East Kilbride are underpasses for cyclists and pedestrians. It's a good idea, a sensible piece of planning. Do all these things add up to make a town? Or is something more needed? It's too early to tell. East Kilbride isn't finished yet. In South Wales is the new town of Cwmbran, meaning in Welsh, the Valley of the Crow. Before the war, Cwmbran was a little mining and steel town. Some of the old miners' cottages are still there. Soon they will be pulled down, and rows of bright new houses will go up in their place. Some of the old places will stay, like the chapel and the pub on the corner. But the old pub isn't big enough now for all the new thirsty throats, so there's a smart new one to help out. For several years before the war, half the valley's workers were unemployed. At long last, new industries were persuaded to come into the area, and there were jobs for all. In fact, there were so many jobs that men travelled from 20 miles away to work in Cwmbran. But now, the new town is providing homes for these people near their jobs. Keeping pace with the new houses come the new factories, and still more jobs. The new town was planned for 35,000 people. Now the estimate is 50,000, and still the factories rise. Cwmbran already has the feel of a town about it. Whatever it is that makes a town, Cwmbran has got it. Eight of the 15 new towns are within 30 miles of London, providing new homes and jobs for 500,000 people. Hemel Hempstead is mentioned in the Domesday Book, and Henry VIII used to meet Anne Boleyn there. He wouldn't recognize it now. Here the centuries meet. The 12th and the 20th. The town had grown into a shapeless sprawl, and a large area was reconstructed as a new town centre. Hemel Hempstead is the envy of many of the new towns in having a new cinema. But they make their own entertainment as well, and the annual carnival is a popular event. The old town and the new get on well together. Half the marriages of children from the new town are with children from the old town. Hemel Hempstead is the only new town with a mayor, and the choice this year was a woman. New towns aren't only industrial. Hemel Hempstead has made a special effort to attract office work. Variety is the keynote of the town. Variety of people, of jobs, of architecture. Variety, and at the same time unity. Perhaps this is the secret of what makes a town. Every new town is different. Harlow, like Hemel Hempstead, was designed to ease the congestion in London. But it's quite a different town. It has more than 300 different types of houses, flats and maisonettes. In 10 years, the population has grown from 5,000 to 50,000. Henry Moore's famous family group sums up the spirit of Harlow and one of its major problems, children. Nearly half the population of Harlow are young married couples. There are about 20,000 children. To keep them occupied during the long summer holidays, a big play scheme has been organized. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. Harlow is building its own sports centre. Here, youngsters from the town are helped by young volunteers from all over Europe. They work hard and they don't get paid. They consider it a job worth doing for love. It's often said that people don't go to church so much these days. But there are more than 70 new churches in the new towns. A new town is clean and comfortable. It's a nice place to live and for children to grow up in. There are more opportunities for leisure and family life. Market Day is an old tradition in Britain, as old as the oldest town and as new as the newest. Harlow's marketplace is more than a collection of stalls. It's a place of excitement, of the unexpected, of a bargain to be gloated over long after. Was it so different 1,000 years ago? Perhaps here is one answer to what makes a town more than just a lot of houses. A town is also the people in it, their meeting and mixing, their jostling and laughing, their indignation and their pleasure. There are 50 new towns growing up in Britain. In all our long history, nothing on this scale has ever happened before. Nothing to equal it is happening anywhere else in the world.